Welcome everyone back to another edition of the Breakdown Sportscast. I am your host, Kory Willis. I hope you guys are doing well on a Monday. Hope you guys enjoyed all of the great things that you like to do, including watching college football. I know I loved it. Chris, I know you loved it as well. We had a great weekend of college football. So I hope you guys very much enjoyed the weekend. As always, we appreciate you guys listening in on the show. As always, we're on many different streaming platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Amazon Music, and Amazon Audible, iHeartRadio, and many other streaming platforms. So we very much appreciate you guys listening in. And be sure to like, comment, subscribe, let us know how we're doing, and let us know how we can improve the show for the future. So like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the weekend watching all of the college football games that we had for week 7. And I'm here to go over all of the week 7 highlights with, you know who he is, my good friend and co-host, Chris Bolton. You hear him? What's going on, Chris?
Yes. What's good, Kory, man? Like you said, the weekend did not disappoint. And the gift that keeps on giving, college football, she did what she had to do.
Yes.
We had some good games, had some blowouts, had some not so good games, but they ended up being close, and we had some spectacular games. I mean, I feel like we had our game of the year candidate to this point take place this weekend, and I'm sure that's the how we're going to kick things off.
Absolutely. I mean, why not?
Or actually, I say, is it a candidate? Is there's the one the week prior, Texas Oklahoma's right there too. I'd be remiss if I didn't say that.
Hey,
but
it was a great game. Look, I'm with you. I'm with you on that one, Chris. Like, that game is still, it's something about it. I'm still thinking about it, even to this day.
That was a spectacular game, but right there with it is the one we're about to talk about now.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and get to it, folks. We don't want to waste your time on what we thought about this game, because I know everyone in the college football landscape, Chris, fans, media, was watching this game. We had Oregon going to Seattle to take on the Washington Huskies. Big time football game. This was Washington defeated Oregon 36-33 late in the game with a touchdown by Michael Penix Jr. touchdown pass. Oh man, it was a great game.
Spectacular. First time in the series in this rivalry where both teams were ranked in the top 10.
It had everything that you wanted. Both these teams were ranked. Just the pageantry of college football, you could see it. That place was electric, as we talked about in our prediction show. Going into Seattle, every time when you're facing the Washington Huskies, like that stadium can be electric when there's a big football game on the horizon. So it lived up to the hype. Of course, both quarterbacks was playing with they were playing with their hair on fire.
They brought their A game.
Yeah, they brought their A game. But there gonna only be one winner at the end, and it was Washington. But overall, what did you think about the game, Chris?
Amazing game, incredible game. Of course, we were texting back and forth throughout the game. But I thought, like I said, I think it was an amazing game. I feel like Oregon, they're trying to get over this one, but they left points on the field. I think they're kicking their own butts. I think the Huskies deserve to win. But I feel like, in particular, Oregon's coaching staff, their head coach, probably feels a little way about how that game ended. They went out on their sword, very aggressive, went for 3 fourth downs and didn't convert. Went over 3 in those fourth down attempts. And when you do that, you leave points on the field. One of the fourth downs was inside the 5-yard line, just right there, where you could easily your defense made a big play, got an interception off of Michael Penix, and gave you an opportunity to at least cut the game to 1 point, to trail by 1 heading into half. They went for the gusto, wanted the touchdown, were not able to convert later in the ball game. Similar situation down in the red zone. In the red zone, went for a back shoulder fade route. The wide receiver, the ball was right there. Bo Nix put it there. I think it was Freeman that he targeted Freeman all game. I believe it was Freeman that was not able to reel it in. So you end up not getting points right there. And then again, you had another opportunity and weren't able to get a touchdown. Going for you weren't able to get the fourth down because it was 4th and 3 near the midfield area in the 40-ish area.
It was close.
You try to put the, like the midfield 40 area. You try to put the dagger in. This was the money drive. You're able to move the ball out of you're inside the 2-yard line after a goal line stand late in the fourth quarter by your defense. And I'm not mad at that play call. I mean, like on the decision to go for it, Kory, but I really think they should have chose a different play. You go back to that play, you choose an option where your quarterback is rolling out left, and he's a right-handed quarterback. Like, that is a tough play to roll left as the QB, get your body square, and to make a throw in that situation. And so I think just off the bat, Bo Nix is going to have to make an incredible throw based off the position you put him in, where we know Bo is a good rollout, out of the pocket thrower, but just physics is one thing when you're rolling out right to your strong hand and throwing the football, but rolling out left for anybody who's a quarterback who has played quarterback, you know how difficult that is to get your body square. You have to stop, plant, then make the throw. If you're doing that on the run, I mean, even Patrick Mahomes has trouble making that throw at times. I mean, so that was a very difficult play. I feel like the coaches kind of put the offense in a position where it was going to be difficult to convert, getting those 3 yards. But incredible job by Washington, by Michael Penix. He showed why he's one of the top candidates to win the Heisman Trophy. 4 touchdowns. Right after Oregon didn't get that fourth down, he took advantage and they took 2 plays and got the touchdown to take the lead. So shout out to the Huskies. They executed when they needed to. When they needed to make the plays, they took advantage of Oregon's mistakes and got the win. And you cannot knock Washington for that. As much as I still myself personally feel like Oregon should have won that game, you can't knock a team for taking advantage of the mistakes you make. And Washington did what good teams do. And if you don't put the dagger in them, if you don't knock them down and finish them off, the good teams, they bounce back and they make the plays. And Washington, they just made the plays.
Yeah, they made the plays when they had to make them. That last touchdown drive to Odunze was magical, of course. Odunze being a really good wide receiver in the Pac-12 and in college football. If you guys haven't watched Rome Odunze, watch him. He's really good. I'm sure when his time comes, he's going to be a top pick in the NFL draft when that happens.
That whole wide receiver group that Michael Penix has to throw to is just filthy.
It's
I mean,
ridiculous.
it doesn't get much better than that in college football.
Yeah, running backs are really good too. I mean, you got Dylan Johnson out there. I mean, he had 100 rushing yards, and a touchdown in that game. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Nixon, Rogers. I mean, all of these guys that contribute running the football. You know, they're really good backs. This whole offense, it just has weapons, folks, and they utilize them about as well, um, about as well as anyone in the country right now in terms of just offensive units. They're
These are the two
utilizing
best
them.
offenses in college football,
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
showed it. Oregon had over 500 total yards in this game.
they
You
did.
know, I mean,
They
this
did.
was beautiful to watch. Just these teams battle each other.
Right, right. I actually like Bucky Irvin for Oregon. This guy, he actually almost gave Oregon that opportunity to win when Washington needed to make a stop, and he like dodged like 3 or 4 guys just to get that
Dude,
first down.
that juke he made
Yeah,
right at the line of scrimmage when he made two people fall like dominoes.
Bucky Irvin, I don't know how he does it, but look, he figures it out, man. Like watch him too. He's electric.
Oh yeah. He's a Sunday guy. He's on my fantasy football radar. I don't care where he gets drafted, where he's going. He's going to end up being a starter in the NFL somewhere. So get used to hearing that name.
Get used to hearing it for real. But yeah, like this game lived up to the hype. Of course, we were both waiting for this game to be played, and when we got it, it gave us everything. It gave us great defense. It gave us great offense. It gave us everything. And now for Washington State, what are you?
Washington.
Uh, uh,
Yeah, for you go. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
we don't even want to talk about them.
We don't want to talk about state.
They got put the smacking down
Yeah.
because of Arizona. They took care of them. Quickly.
Yeah, the Cougs got beat to sleep.
Yeah, but for Washington, for the Huskies, Chris, now that they've gotten over this hump, known as Oregon, where do you see the Huskies going forward for the rest of the season?
They are in the driver's seat to make the playoff, college football playoff. The Pac-12 will have I believe, a representative, and so they got to take care of business. Stay locked in. Don't get too up. You know, this is a program that's had success over the last decade. Has finished the season with top 10 finishes. Made it to New Year's Six bowl games. So they aren't. It's not like this is their first time on the spotlight. Washington's a good program, but they need to stay focused and stay locked in and, just take care of business. I feel like Oregon is their toughest test on their regular season schedule. When you look at those two teams play, I feel like we were looking at 2 of the 5 best teams in the nation, regardless of what the AP poll said. Those are 2 great teams. Those are 2 of the better teams in the nation. And Washington should take care of business. They should win out, but it's college football, and it's the reason we play the game. So now, they got to go out there and just make it happen. But I feel like that was their toughest hurdle.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Playing Oregon isn't an easy task at all, and especially this Oregon team that has been so good offensively and defensively. I think this is like one of the best Oregon teams I've seen in a while.
For sure, and they made the plays this game. I mean, Bo Nix. Everybody love, we've trashed Bo Nix, and you see on Twitter Bo picks and all that for years, especially as time at Auburn. But Bo Nix was incredible in this game. The throws he made, how he was able to drive his team in key situations down the field, put them in position to get the game-tying field goal to force overtime. He played very well. The defense got a key critical goal line stand late in the fourth quarter. The team they made the plays. I mean, Oregon is a really good team. Again, like that's why I started off by saying I really feel like it's this L on the coaching staff, or on Coach Lannon in particular, with being maybe a little too aggressive. But if you're going to go out if there's one way to go out, I feel like you prefer to go out being too aggressive than too conservative.
Right.
So I can understand that. But I'm pretty sure that's what he's thinking, though, is maybe I overdid it. But yeah, this Oregon team is the truth. They still have a chance to make some shape. It's a lot of, like we said, but this was week 7. We just hit mid-October. A whole lot of football left to be played. So we'll see how things continue to play out.
Exactly. Yeah, just great performance by both teams. Everything's still in front of them. So, we'll definitely sit back and see what happens in the Pac-12 between both of these teams. So yeah, anything else you like to add about this game, Chris, before we move on?
No, sir. I'm just thank you to those teams. They put on a show, and I truly feel like it surpassed the hype. It exceeded the hype. This was the game to watch this weekend. Let's just put it like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is why we watch college football, folks, for games like these. And I think we were in for a treat. It delivered. And
thank you, Santa.
Yeah,
appreciate all the treat.
He came early.
Appreciate the gift.
Exactly. He came early for us. So yeah, we'll definitely see what happens with both Oregon and Washington going forward. So on that note, we're going to leave Seattle, Chris, and we're going to head to South Bend, where the Notre Dame Fighting Irish hosted the USC Trojans over the weekend, and we saw a beatdown in South Bend. When Notre Dame defeated USC 48-20, Chris.
Yeah, we in our previews we mentioned that USC has been lollygagging, kind of getting by on talent, not being sharp, and we both felt like Notre Dame would get the dub, but I don't think we saw a beatdown like this coming, though.
No.
Did you, Kory?
No, not at all. I look. We knew that at some point, and especially this game, because we talked about it on Friday, where USC needed to show some kind of fight defensively. Like, if they're serious about being a contender for the college football playoffs, Chris, they can't have games like this. And look what happened. They're still
expose him. Expose him. They got exposed.
They got exposed from top to bottom. Let's be honest right now. Like they don't have. They shouldn't be in this position. They actually have really good talent to not get beat 48-20.
Is this year 3 for Coach Riley for Lincoln? Or is
this is year 2.
2.
Yeah.
Year 2. Okay, yes, sorry. It's year 2. Yeah, because Caleb is a junior, and Caleb was at Oklahoma and came in and went crazy that Red River shootout game, the comeback. And then last year, okay, yeah. Still though, it's USC. They shouldn't be looking like this.
Like, look, we said in our prediction show. Well, I know I predicted that Notre Dame was going to win the game, just because I didn't know what to believe with USC's defense, and they have been so bad this year. I thought at some point, even if they still kept playing bad, at some point they were going to find a way offensively to showcase enough flashy plays to still get the W. Because let's be honest, like this is just what they are. Like on this show, we always talk about you are who you are late in the season.
You are who you are. Yeah,
and
they are a flawed football team.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna lie. Like, they can't play defense to save their lives right now, and this is what you're getting right now, defensively as a product on the field. It's not. It's unacceptable if you're a USC fan, and
it is.
If you're Lincoln Riley right now, like let me go ahead and look at USC's schedule at this point. Cause
I was about to say you're staring a 9-3 season in the face. Yeah. At least it can be 9-3. You still have Oregon. You still got to play UW. You got to play UCLA. I mean, this was just the beginning, because we had mentioned that on Friday too. That the schedule gets real and it started Saturday, and it only continues. You get one little buffer game in between with Cal, but other than that, good luck.
Yeah.
What's the schedule? You have it in front of you, Kory?
I do right now. So this coming Saturday, they have to play Utah. That's not easy. October the 28th, they have to travel to Cal.
And it's at Cal. That makes it a little tricky. I know Cal's having them. They're not all that, but
right.
They'll be ready for this game because it's a home game and it's USC.
Exactly. And then November the 4th is the game against Washington at home. You travel to Oregon on November the 11th.
Back-to-back weeks of Washington and Oregon?
Yeah.
Oof.
And then you cap it off with UCLA on November the 18th.
This team can go 8-4.
With the way that they're playing defense right now, they should go 8-4 at this point. Like, this is just unacceptable if you're a USC fan. I'm sorry, folks. If there's any USC Trojan fans listening in on this show, I'm sorry, but the team is good right now.
No, don't be sorry, because the USC fans, the real ones, are saying, "No, y'all are spitting. We're bad. This ain't it.
You're bad,
and it is unacceptable. It is unacceptable." But that's the Lincoln Riley experience, man. When has the Lincoln Riley football team ever played defense? Going back to Oklahoma.
That's true.
That's not what they do. That's not what they do.
I know. That is true. Like, if there's anything that you should come after Lincoln Riley about, is that his teams aren't too fond of playing defensive football. Good defensive football. I say that.
I will say that. And we got to give some love to Notre Dame. That's how you respond after getting beat, by a Louisville team that handedly, defeated you. Mm-hmm. You reset, you bounce back, and you take out your You take out what got done to you on somebody else, and they took it out on USC.
Yeah,
They let loose.
yeah.
I mean, they made that, especially Notre Dame's defense in the first half. They made life hell on Caleb Williams, someone that we anticipate being the first overall pick in the NFL draft. They got 3 interceptions off to him in the first half. That's how you set the tone. The defense came out, set the tone, and the offense followed suit. So, big ups to Notre Dame. Much needed win. Not letting this season, slip out of their hands. Tough when you lose a heartbreaker to Ohio State on the final play. That can crush you. It's even tougher when you go on the road and lose a game to Louisville, which I'm sure you looked at the schedule. If you were a Notre Dame fan before the season, you anticipated that being an easy victory. You lose that one.
And then you look on the TV screen and then you see Pitt beat Louisville. So that really pisses you off.
Right.
I just had to throw that in there.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because that did happen. But despite all that, Coach Freeman he had his team ready to play ball, and that's what they did. They put on the best performance that they've had all season. And then when do you want to play your best? As the season continues. You don't want to peak in week 1. You don't want to peak in week 3. But if you're starting to peak at week 7, week 9, if this can become a theme, Notre Dame still has a chance to play in a big-time January bowl. So this is what you wanted to see if you're a Fighting Irish fan. Great response by Notre Dame.
Absolutely. Great for Notre Dame. Great for Sam Hartman. Great for everybody on that team. They played lights out, and this is a way for them to bounce back and control their own destiny. No one knows what's going to happen by the time we get close to the end of this season, and we start thinking about the playoffs. So hats off to them for figuring it out and handling their business at home the way they're supposed to. So yeah. Anything else you'd like to add about this game, Chris?
Man, ain't nothing else to talk about. The USC got thumped. There ain't nothing else we ain't got to say nothing else.
Look, and now Lincoln Riley in California, he gotta sit there and try to explain all these things to all these big time California boosters. The whole alumni in USC, all these movie stars and all of that. Just as the why he can't try a good defense out there.
He need to be in somebody living room who's a top defensive line prospect right now. That's where he needs to be.
Because if he ain't, we got some issues.
Man, they need some help. If he can get the defense rectified, then now we're talking. But, yeah. That's enough on that.
Absolutely. Well, let's go ahead on, and we'll go into the SEC now, Chris, where this was a game that we had talked about on our Friday show.
Texas A&M, I'm shaking my head.
Yeah. and we talked about it over the weekend. You text me about it, and you told me, Kory, we need to stop putting our faith.
Never again.
A&M.
I'm and it's not A&M personally. It's the Jimbo Fisher experience, man. I'm done. I'm done.
What an experience.
I knew better.
What an experience.
Oh, man.
Oh my God. So yeah, folks.
Jimbo Fisher football teams, boy. But yeah, go ahead.
yeah, folks. If you didn't watch this game on Saturday, Tennessee hosted the Texas A&M Aggies in Neyland Stadium, and Tennessee won this game 20-13. It was a low scoring game.
It was a bad football game.
It was. It was. If you look back at
there's no way to sugarcoat this. It was a bad football game. It was ugly. It was who could make. It's not who could make the plays to win. It was who could avoid self-inflicting wounds to keep themselves from winning. Who could do that the least amount of times? Who can make the fewest mistakes?
Who could avoid from shooting themselves in the foot the most?
Oh. And when you put it like that, doesn't it sound like it's going to be Tennessee? Who do you expect to shoot themselves in the foot more? Jimbo or Coach Heupel?
I look at
I'm a Monday morning quarterbacking, but doggone it, man. Come on.
I look at A&M from a historical standpoint of them shooting themselves in the foot more than Tennessee. Granted, Tennessee still won the football game, but when you look at this game, it was just sloppy on both ends. The interception strong. Just...
Especially, yeah. I mean, even with Tennessee in the winning
all
effort,
kinds of calamity.
The game played out how we said it was going to, Kory, in the sense of Texas A&M forced Joe Milton to make throws. He didn't really make the throws. He had a critical red zone interception deep in Texas A&M territory. And if I'm not mistaken, this is Milton's 6th year.
Yeah, I think you're right.
The interception he had deep in the red zone in A&M's territory. Mm-hmm. That's a freshman mistake. I mean, dog, you can't have that kind of throw as a 6th-year quarterback.
No.
And A&M could not take advantage. I really don't understand it. Looking at the offense, A&M has so many weapons. Well, Moose Muhammad, Evan Stewart, Johnson at tight end. Mm-hmm. They had plenty of playmakers. Tennessee's defensive line played very well. They did get pressure. But I feel like schematically, A&M did not make the necessary adjustments in this ball game. They still were trying to drive the ball vertically downfield. But if your offensive line is struggling to protect, at some point, man, you just got to get the ball in Evan Stewart's hands. I don't care if it's at the line of scrimmage or if it's quick slants, quick outs. You know what I'm saying? Like just short little 4-6 yard routes, but you got to get the ball in those guys' hands. And I feel like they continue to just try to, attack vertically. And that's what led to them having the struggles they had offensively in this ball game.
Yeah. Just both teams just struggled. I just looked at this stat right here, Chris, and I know you're gonna be interested in this. So the penalties in this game. Check this out. Penalties in this game. Texas A&M, 11 penalties for 90 yards. Okay, I mean, like, that's still bad. Especially when you're A&M and you should really be better than what you should be, but I digress at this point. But look at Tennessee. 12 penalties. 115 yards. Still won the football game.
And you won.
You still won the football game.
How? That's an indictment on Texas A&M, man.
Yeah.
It's the same story every year. When you look at the rosters, top 12 roster through and through, one of the most talented football teams in college football. But for some reason, the coaching staff cannot get the maximum out of this talent.
Yeah.
They can't do it. And there's no excuse for losing a football game where a team has over 100 penalty yards, 115 penalty yards.
That's inexcusable.
They're gifted, and they just keep gifting you opportunities. But also, man, SEC officials. I'm getting on the tangent right here, real quick. We got to be better. It's a story that never ends. That same story every year. The SEC officials are going to SEC official. They do what they do, and I need them to be better, because there was a critical face mask that they missed on the final drive of that Texas A&M Tennessee game, where A&M got face masks and they didn't call it. There was 2 times that happened in the ball game that they missed right there in front of them. That can't happen. That can't happen. We need those calls made. It should have been 145 penalty yards. Should have been 2 more penalties.
Tacked on.
It should have been. But
you know how this is, Chris. And look, I definitely agree with you. Like, SEC officials, they're always getting things wrong. Of course, we've seen tons of games where these just weird no calls happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you clearly see it. Everyone sees it, but it's like, well, you know, what can you do now? It's like, no, you need to do better as an officiating crew, because this is just ruining the experience.
Right. I say that, but it probably would have made no difference.
It wouldn't.
Texas A&M still wasn't going to get no touchdown. We had the rest of these penalties to help you out. You still couldn't do nothing. So yeah. Oh man.
Oh my God. But no, you're right, Chris. This, like, I looked at that stat and I just had to share it with everyone. But yeah, you look at that, and then you see that Texas A&M didn't win this football game. Yeah, that's very much an indictment on A&M's just ineptitude in these ball games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how can you just not take advantage of these opportunities that come your way? And they get them more than any team I've seen probably in the country with some of these breaks. And
it's bad.
They can't capitalize on them.
Nope.
So I don't know. I don't know where A&M goes.
Third loss of the season.
From this,
I believe the team is now 4-3.
Yes. And let me pull up the schedule, which is what I have right now. Next game is against South Carolina. They just lost to Florida over the weekend, but I still like this South Carolina team, mainly because you don't know where you're going to get from this South Carolina team.
You sure don't. I mean, they are a true wild card.
Yeah. Like there's some players on their team that I actually like.
That might not have a lot of national notoriety behind it, that matchup, but as a fan of the SEC and college football, that will be an interesting one to watch.
Absolutely.
Texas A&M could be 4-4.
I know.
Is this? If you can look it up real quick, if you don't mind, isn't this Jimbo's 5th year?
This is Jimbo's
or 6th? It's 5th or 6th. 6th? That's what I'm thinking. Man, 4-4 in year 6. Boy, how did he swindle that extension? That's crazy. I need his agent.
So
4-4 with all this NIL money, with this crazy. Okay, fifth year, still year 5 with this roster, with all the money that's back behind this team. When they legitimately went out there and bought the top recruiting class.
I know.
I think he gets. I think we might as well just talk about it. I think he gets another year.
You think he gets another year?
I think he gets another year. I know it sounds crazy, and I know A&M has money, but still, that contract. Is that not like? Isn't it 50 M's they would owe him?
I think it's at 77 right now.
My chest.
I'm gonna say this. Let's say they lose to South Carolina. They got a bye week this coming week, so they don't play.
Ooh-wee.
Let's say they come off their bye week and they lose to South Carolina. Do they give him the X then, or do they wait? Because after that, you got to travel to Ole Miss. That game ain't easy.
They don't give him the axe, then you know what game gives him the axe.
Abilene Christian.
You know. Well, for sure, that one. But nah, Kory. We are both Mississippi guys. Anytime you lose to like Mississippi State, that's the game that gets you fired. For some reason, losing to Mississippi State, that's the game that gets coaches out of there.
It's happened. It's just it's just the gift that keeps on giving. What can I say?
I would say Ole Miss, but Ole Miss is good this year. So like the taste of losing to Ole Miss doesn't taste like it normally does. It's not like how it normally is when you lose to Ole Miss in years past. That game, because that can get you out of there as well. But Ole Miss is actually better than A&M this year.
Yeah.
But if you lose to Mississippi State, and this is not a good Mississippi State team this year, you lose to them. Oh, Jimbo can go ahead. He might as well go ahead and get he might as well stay another night in the Hilton Garden Inn in Starkville, because he ain't getting on the plane back to College Station.
Well, granted, that game is at College Station, so
that's right. He could just drive on to the cribbo then. That's right. Yeah.
If he loses that football game,
he for sure getting canned. Man, that's at home.
If he loses that football game, yeah, he might as well just just go home. Don't even talk to
Ain't
the
no
team.
post game speech. No, ain't no post game speech. Just when you exit out that tunnel, continue walking through the little gate and go to your car and drive on home. Ain't no need talking to the team.
Yeah, at this point, just go home. Just go home, pack your bags, get out of that mansion that you in.
No, he ain't gotta get out. He's still gonna get. You just said how much he gonna be owed. He ain't gotta go nowhere.
You know what? You're right. He don't have to go anywhere.
But you gotta get the hell out of here.
Look. If you're going home, I want to at least see you the next day, like cleaning out the office, because we put another person in this office, and it ain't gonna be you.
You ain't gotta put your crib up for sale, but you gotta leave the 12th man.
Like, I'm sorry. At this point, like, Chris, you got 5 more games in the season. I can't tell you which ones are sure wins for them outside the Abilene Christian game.
Ain't no such thing as a sure win with Texas A&M and Jimbo Fisher. And look, we say that they could still mess around and rattle off some wins. This team, you just don't know.
You don't. You don't know.
We thought we knew, but you don't.
You don't know.
And it's only finna get spicier and hotter. The seat's getting hotter and warmer. You know, yeah, I'm gonna keep my eyes on this, man. Just as somebody that loves the game. This, we love us some hot seat, some coaching drama.
So, look, especially when it's well deserved. Okay.
Yeah, I know your people in Texas and then out there in Austin. They're eating this up as well.
Look,
Who doesn't love this? Who doesn't love to see the little brother struggling?
look, it is here in my neck of the woods. I'm talking about it is ruthless out here. Like these Longhorn fans will crucify this Texas A&M team.
I know what they're saying. I know what y'all are saying. The Longhorn fans, they're saying, not yet. Let us get back. Let us get in the SEC. Let us play Jimbo. Let us put the thump and the smack down on them next year. Then y'all can get him out of there. Don't get rid of him just yet.
let me get last dibs on him.
Yeah, let me get some real quick. But yeah.
Oh man, but no, the rhetoric that goes on around here is just like people will use these instances with A&M fans and just A&M in general as just jokes.
Oh yeah,
at this point,
just straight up punching bag. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what to say about A&M. Hats off to Tennessee.
Yeah, good win for Tennessee.
Even through a sloppy game.
You won an ugly one, and you keep your hopes of competing in the division alive. You can't, if you want to win the East, you can't afford to lose SEC home games. You took care of business. You defended home field. So, what you want is still in store. Now you just keep it moving and try to continue to take care of business within the division. Exactly. You won your at home out of division matchup. Still got to play your Missouri, your Georgia, and your Kentucky. So all that's ahead for you.
Absolutely. Well, you got anything else to add about this game, Chris?
We done covered it. We done covered it all.
I think so too. But yeah, that is that game. So we will head to North Carolina, where the Tar Heels hosted the Miami Hurricanes. This was another game, Chris, that we had talked about on our Friday show that we really wanted to see. And this was definitely an interesting game. Of course, Miami was trying to bounce back after that embarrassing loss the week prior against Georgia Tech. But overall, North Carolina came out of this game with the win. And they won this game 41-31. Drake May had a impeccable day. He was 17 for 33, 273 yards with 4 touchdowns. And Tyler Van Dyke, he was 31 for 48, 391 yards through the air with 4 touchdowns. But he also threw 2 interceptions. But did you get a chance to watch this game over the weekend?
I did. I feel like Tyler Van Dyke, he might have had those 2 picks, but for me, man, he looked like he played like the better quarterback in that game. Man, because Drake was struggling initially. It wasn't pretty that first half. Miami was, really kind of put the clamps on them. That the pass rush was getting there. They had like 4 sacks in the first half. But Miami they weren't messing around. Van Dyke was throwing some dimes. I mean, some really good throws. He took a crazy hit on the pass, but it was one of the better passes you see all weekend. I mean, just threw a 40-yard beauty in stride to the receiver for a touchdown. But then North Carolina figured it out, and Tez Walker happened. Tez was a man amongst boys. Did he have how many touchdowns he had, Kory? I believe it was at least 2.
Let's see.
I think Tez might have had 3.
Let's see.
Tez Walker went off. We mentioned him. I said Miami. I mean, North Carolina has their receiver. He got approved. The NCAA stopped being the NCAA. They stopped being on that bull jive and went ahead and let him do his thing. Boy, did he do it?
Yeah. So yeah. Tez Walker, he had 3 touchdowns in this football game.
Yes, Tez on the show.
Yeah, 6 receptions, 132 yards, 3 touchdowns. As longest of the game was 56. So, yeah,
Tez was a problem, and he was a difference in this ball game. Miami made a late push, but North Carolina was at home, and they got the win. They got the win. Shout out to Miami for putting up a valiant effort, bouncing back like I expected them to. I felt like this was going to be a game. I thought Miami was even going to pull it off, and they probably would have if Tez Walker wasn't playing.
They probably were like, man, I wish the NCAA would have really kept this man. And how we don't see him.
Yeah, Tez was incredible. That, to me, he's the story of this game, and he unlocks something for this North Carolina team. We saw them collapse last season after starting off the season so hot and then going on to lose like 4 of their last 5 games in the regular season. It was bad for UNC fans. But with him combined with Drake May and his talent at quarterback, this North Carolina team is legit. A legit team to win the ACC.
Yeah, you can definitely see it, of course. Just in terms of on the field performance, you can tell Tyler Van Dyke he did have the better passing game. His QBR was around 80. Drake Mays was around 70. So I can kind of see where Drake was struggling a lot during the game.
He turned it up in the second half,
of course. So
yeah, and that's what you want out of somebody who's going to be a draft pick. Right. Was one of probably the best quarterback in the conference. You start off slow, you expect him to bounce back. So he responded like you want to see your quarterback respond.
Exactly, and having Tez Walker out there does help, and it definitely helped them, win that football game in stylish fashion. But yeah, hats off to North Carolina. Winning any football game can be difficult at times, especially when you're going up against teams, with their backs against the wall, such as Miami. So, hats off to the Tar Heels, and now we can see where the Tar Heels will go forward now with the season. Let me go ahead and look at the schedule right quick. So, this Saturday they're going to take on Virginia. That should be a win, and the game is at home, so they shouldn't have any issues with that game. But we'll see.
They shouldn't.
Yeah. Then they have to travel to Georgia Tech on October 28th.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know. Miami's like, do it for us. don't make us
be the only casualty.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they have Campbell on November the 4th. Should be a win. Duke November the 11th. At Clemson November the 18th. And you cap it off with NC State on November the 25th, which is a game they have to travel to. So everything's still in front for North Carolina. They're 6-0 right now. So we just have to see if they can handle the rest of the season. I think they can, but you never know what happens in college football, unfortunately.
You don't, and it's North Carolina. That's all I'm gonna say. As much as I like this team, they are still North Carolina. We saw this movie last year.
Yeah.
I'd start tough end to the season, so we'll see. I think this is a different team when you have an improved defensive line like they have. Their defensive line is really good. You have a playmaker like Tez Walker at receiver, and you got Drake May and what he brings as a quarterback and as a leader to this team. So the pieces are there. We'll see how it plays out.
Absolutely. So yeah, we'll see how it plays out. But anything else you want to add to this game, Chris? Before we move on to our last game.
We can move on to the last one.
All right. So yeah, we won't go over this game too much. I didn't get a chance to see it. I'm not sure if you did as well, Chris. But
it's a couple pieces of this matchup.
Yeah. This was a ranked versus ranked matchup over the weekend. We had UCLA traveling to Oregon State to take on the Beavers, and Oregon State won this game 36-24. DJ he had a pretty good day. DJ Uiagalelei, he was 14 for 24, 266 yards with 2 touchdowns, and for UCLA, Dante Moore, he was 14 for 33, 165 yards with 1 touchdown, and he threw 3 interceptions. So, not a good day for DJ Moore, for Dante Moore, I should say. Yeah, not a good day for him at all. And I know Chip Kelly was probably just banging his head against the wall, trying to see his offense gain any kind of momentum. But a big game for Oregon State. They advance now to 6-1 after that win, and we'll definitely have to see where Oregon State goes from here. So, what did you think?
This was the Oregon State defense we anticipated seeing when they got pummeled by Washington State. This was a team I thought we would see, but this was great job by their defense, the Beavers' defense, by making life tough for Dante. And they did what you're supposed to do, defending home field. Night game, new starting quarterback. Dante, he's inexperienced. First year starting for the Bruins. A ranked matchup in the conference on the road. And it looked like it. It looked like one of those moments, those growing up moments for him. And going through he's taking his licks, his growing pains, but good win for Oregon State. Your veteran QB DJ, he's had his battle moves. He's had his growing pains at Clemson. He played well, took care of the football, and led the offense on solid drives. And Oregon State took care of business. So a good win for this team. We'll see if how things continue to play out. I'm not sure what their schedule looks like, but they have some opportunities to kind of stay in the mix. They're a little slept on right now because of the Washingtons and the Oregons and the Utahs, but Oregon State can go to battle with everyone in the conference. You know, when you have a defense like this.
No, I agree. I agree. Right now I do actually have the schedule pulled up so I can let you know what it is. So, next game for them is October the 28th. They have to travel to take on Arizona. So that game is going to be interesting.
Ooh, that's a fun game.
That's a fun game because Arizona's been playing some really good football lately. And hey, I'm not saying they're Oregon State. If any Oregon State fan is listening to the show, that you might slip up. But I'm just saying you shouldn't take the Wildcats lightly.
That would not shock me if that's one of those games where it's like a field goal win for either team. I can definitely see that one going to the wire.
Exactly. So yeah, that's October the 28th. November the 4th, they have to travel to Boulder to take on Colorado. And I mean, look, we saw what happened over.
Ain't no telling what's going to happen in that
game. we saw what happened on last Friday with Colorado, and just how Dion was just really distraught about that game. So yeah, I'm with you 1,000%. We don't know how that game's going to take shape, but hey, I want to ride first class. I want to be along the ride with that game. I want to get the best seat in the house.
I'll be right there with you. I'm gonna be in front of my TV watching.
DJ versus Shadur. Like, who comes out on top?
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait. So that's that game. November the 11th is Stanford at home. November the 18th is Washington at home. So that's going to be a big game. And then you cap it off with Oregon. You have to travel to Oregon on November the 4th.
Oh, so, good luck.
Yeah. good luck. That's all I can say. But hey, they've been handling their business outside of that one little mulligan against Washington State. We'll see what happens with Oregon State.
Mm-hmm. Oregon State, yeah, definitely a good team. No one to just look over. So
exactly.
It's. We say it every week, man. It's gonna be a fun ride. We'll see how this continues to play out.
Exactly.
A lot of football left to be played.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree. But yeah. Anything else you want to add about this game before we wrap it up?
Nah, nothing else to add. If anything, you kind of mentioned it as we talked about Oregon State, but the best thing that happened to Colorado was that game being on Friday. Because, boy, especially with everybody sleep. Because, man, they blew a 29-point lead, man. That's
rough. That
hurts.
Yeah, that hurts big time.
Some soul searching going on as we speak right now.
Oh my!
In Colorado,
I know, my God. I know, it's just crazy. And then the other crazy game in Colorado over the weekend where you had freaking Colorado State and Boise State, and Colorado's like losing the game. It was like they were losing the game by I think like 17 points or so. And then they just come back. No, I think they were losing it by 20 points. But
that's what they do.
Yeah, and then they just came back. And they just won the game 31-30. And I think this was their homecoming game.
That's an interesting football team.
Very interesting football team. So I bet you Jay Norvell was just like looking at what had happened to Dion, and then they won their game on Saturday, and he just had like the biggest smile on his face. You know he did, Chris. He was
the red Kool-Aid smile.
Oh my God.
So yeah,
Oh my gosh, he was.
wackiness going on in Colorado.
I know. He was probably just smiling just from temple to temple.
Yeah, he's still smiling. He's sleeping. He in bed, knocked out, smile on his face.
I know, right? Living a dream right now. Living a dream. Oh man, but that's it for us. Of course, Chris, won't you go ahead and let the good people know where they can find you on social media?
Holla at your boy on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't hurt me either way. At Chris_Bolton_12. Follow me on the gram at Chris.Bolton_. And just get at your boy. I watch it all, talk about it all. Football, baseball playoffs going on right now. See if the Rangers can, get by Houston, get by the Stros. Maybe it's the Phillies' year. They beat the Braves. So we'll see how the baseball playoffs shake out. And NBA season is on the horizon. Preseason hoops going on right now. It's about to be go time. We'll see my Dubs. If we got one more in us. I know you done seen the Vince Carter meme. I got one more in me.
Yep.
I hope my Dubs got one more in them. Can we squeeze out another championship? We'll see. And then shoot, NFL's going on too. But yeah, holler at me about all that.
Awesome. Yeah, and you can follow me on X at Listen to KSW, all one handle. I'm on there talking about everything going on in the sports world, whether it is NFL, college football. We got NBA starting back again, of course, like Chris said. I'm on there talking about anything, video games, professional wrestling. So, yeah, just get at me on there. But,
yes, sir.
But that's it for us, guys. We
another fun episode in the books.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will keep this thing rolling, of course, because we gotta give y'all all of our thoughts going on in the college football world as we're heading into week 8.
Yeah, week 8, man. It's here.
Gosh. Oh man, but yeah, we will be back most definitely on Friday to get you set for all of the games in week 8 of the college football season. But yeah, that's it for us. Until next time, guys, we out.
Peace.
Peace.